Hi, this is Daryl Meyer from Keller, Texas. Today is Monday, April 19th, 2010. Listen, I want to talk to you today about Mystery Babylon. We hear a lot about it in the Bible. A lot of people lately have been sending me videos telling me that America is Mystery Babylon, and I just find it very important to try to clear this up because clearly there is some false teaching going on out there. And I get my info from the Bible. So if there's any kind of false teaching, it must be in my interpretation of it. However, a lot of the Bible clearly explains itself if you keep reading. So let's dive right into this today. Mystery Babylon. Who is it? Okay, we can go to the prophecy of Babylon's destruction in Revelation 14:8. It's crystal clear. It says, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she has made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Now, knowing that this prophecy about the coming fall of Babylon exists, and knowing that the United States and Great Britain are attacking Iraq, the nation that contains ancient Babylon, we must ask ourselves if the prophesied fall of Babylon is at hand. Okay? There's a lot of people that are ready to proclaim that the time for this fulfillment of ancient prophecy has arrived, but let's look in the Bible, see what the scriptures say. Okay, Revelation 16:16 announces the beginning of the Battle of Armageddon, and he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. The next 3 verses record the fall of Babylon the Great. And the 7th angel poured out his vial into the air, and great Babylon came in remembrance before God, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. Okay, this passage clearly teaches us that the destruction of Babylon will take place at the time of the Battle of Armageddon. Okay, since we know that the Battle of Armageddon occurs at the end of the Great Tribulation, after the reign of the Antichrist and after the mark of the beast, then it is obvious that the pending war with Iraq will not be the prophesied destruction of Babylon. Okay, there's another prophecy of Babylon's destruction. The entire ministry of the Old Testament prophet Jeremiah was devoted to prophesying the destruction of Jerusalem and the carrying away of Israel into Babylonian captivity. He also prophesied the return of Israel to Jerusalem after 70 years and foretold the ultimate destruction of Babylon. This is found in Jeremiah 50, verse 1 through 23. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but it says, "The word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet." The Chaldeans, okay, that's over in the Middle East. It's not in America. Let's see, it says that verses 17 and 18 establish for certain when this destruction was to occur. Israel is a scattered sheep, the lions have driven him away. The first king of Assyria hath devoured him, and last this Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon hath broken his bones. Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land as I have punished the king of Assyria. Okay, so these scriptures teach us the prophesied destruction of Babylon would occur during the Babylonian empire of Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, and it also says in verse 39 through 40 that Babylon would never again be inhabited, and it shall be inhabited no more, forever. Okay, so there's 2 destructions of Babylon foretold. And we know that this appears there's 2 different Babylons, okay? There's a literal Babylon and there's the mystery Babylon. Okay, the physical city of Babylon was built by Nimrod after the flood. It's about 55 miles south of Baghdad, Iraq, on the Euphrates River. The name Babylon came from the Tower of Babel that was constructed there. You've read about that in the Bible. Okay, the city was destroyed by Xerxes, the Persian king, in 478 BC. So Jeremiah's prophesied destruction of Babylon was accomplished. Okay, so it's never to be inhabited again. So if we go to Revelation 17 verse 3 through 5, it talks about mystery Babylon. "So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth." So who is Mystery Babylon? 4 clues right there in that verse. A mystery is something secret or hidden. Okay, in Revelation 17, there's several clues given to the identity of Mystery Babylon. Okay, clue number 1, Mystery Babylon is a city, not a country, not a nation, not a kingdom, but a city. Okay, that rules America out right there with clue number 1. Okay, verse 18 of the chapter tells us the woman's a city, and the woman which thou sawest is a great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Okay, clue number 2, Mystery Babylon presides over a vast international system. In verse 1, we're told that the woman sits on many waters. Okay, verse 15 explains the meanings of the waters. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Okay, so not only is this woman a city, but the city is apparently the headquarters of a vast international system. Okay, clue number 3, the city sits on 7 hills. In verse 3, we're told that the woman rides on a beast with 7 heads, but then in verse 9 it reveals the meaning of the heads. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits. Okay, so we already know the woman's a city. The passage tells us that the city sits on 7 mountains. There is a city in the earth that is known as the City of 7 Hills. It's the city of Rome. You can Google it. Google City of 7 Hills, and you'll see Rome come up 1,000 times. But is Rome the headquarters for an international power that rules over peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues? The Vatican claims to rule over 1 billion Roman Catholics worldwide. Now remember, this prophecy was written long before the Catholic Church existed and long before Rome became her headquarters. Okay, clue number 4. She's clothed in purple and red. Revelation 17:4 says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones. Okay, there's 2 ruling bodies in the Roman Catholic Church, the College of Cardinals and the College of Bishops and Archbishops. These 2 bodies are somewhat like the Senate and the House of Representatives here in the U.S. Okay, there's an article that appeared in the Criterion, a Roman Catholic publication, July 1st, 1988. It was entitled More Than You Want to Know About Cardinals. It stated, cardinals wear red, while non-cardinal bishops and archbishops wear purple. So, Mystery Babylon is the city that sits on 7 hills. Rome is known worldwide as the City of 7 Hills. Mystery Babylon is to sit on peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. Rome is the headquarters for the Roman Catholic Church, claiming 1 billion members worldwide. Okay, Mystery Babylon is described as being clothed in purple and red. The official colors of the 2 ruling bodies of the Roman Church are purple and red. Okay, one other factor needs to be understood. In Revelation 17, God chose to use a woman, a whore, to symbolize the Roman Catholic Church. Why? Well, it's pretty simple. In Scripture, God always used a woman to symbolize a church. He used a virgin to represent his true church in 2 Corinthians 11:2, and he used a harlot to represent a false church, as he did in Revelation 17 through 19. So there's only one conclusion. The Vatican is the Mystery Babylon in Revelation, and it is this false religious system that has deceived the people of the world that will be destroyed at the time of Armageddon. I know I'm going to get a lot of Catholic people giving me some hate mail. I can take it. It's okay. This is what I read in my Bible. And, I'm a firm believer that the very next pope that we have will be the false prophet spoken of in Revelation, and he will work side by side with the Antichrist to deceive the whole world. I know the Catholic Church doesn't like this. I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but I want to make it clear, America is not the Mystery Babylon spoken of, because it says it's a city, not a country. Okay, Revelation 9:13 through 16 prophesies a war that'll kill 1/3 of mankind. That would be over 2 billion people right now. It states that this war will begin in the area of the Euphrates River. Most of the Euphrates is in Iraq, a nation with which the U.S. is currently at war, and we have about 145,000 troops stationed up and down the banks of this Euphrates River. So, if this war with Iraq is indeed the one prophesied in Revelation 9:13 through 16, the face of the world will be changed forever. Okay, there's going to be cries for peace and security. It'll give birth to a global law that will throw the planet into a one-world government. The carnage of 2 billion dead in the aftermath of nuclear war will create the perfect scenario for the ascent of the Antichrist into power. Now, this disaster will be also accelerated by the implementation of the Roadmap for Peace by the international community, the Quartet, upon Israel and the Palestinians. So, it appears that this anticipated Middle East agreement will be the confirmation of the covenant, which triggers the final 7 years to Armageddon. Okay, so the coming war with Iraq will not be the end of the world. It will not be Armageddon. And it will not be the prophesied destruction of Mystery Babylon. But it could very possibly be the worst world war the world has ever known. Now, I want to mention to you now, too, Peter, one of Jesus' disciples, is credited as being the first pope of the Catholic Church. I need to remind you that Jesus Christ himself called Peter Satan. He said, "Get thee behind me, Satan," directly to Peter's face. And he also told Peter, "I promise you, this night you will deny me 3 times before the rooster crows." And sure enough, Peter denied Jesus Christ. Food for thought, people. Food for thought. Just want to give you some truths as I see them from the Holy Bible. God bless you. Good Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow.